Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this super special H Day that goes live this morning, where I'm joined by all 9 of our British Hairdresser of the Year 2020 nominees and the lovely Julian Crane from Schwarzkopf Professional. So good morning, everybody. I am just going to give everybody a name check so that you can wave when you come up. So we have, first off, these are in alphabetical order, so there's no favouritism. Adam Reed, Angelo Seminara, Sakkas, Darren Ambrose, Errol Douglas, Gary Hooker and Michael Young, Richard Ashforth, Robert Eaton, and Sally Brooks. And as I said, Julian is joining us from Schwarzkopf. So
hi, everybody.
Good morning to everybody, and thank you for getting up and coming and joining us this morning. So we want to talk all things hairdressing awards, but this is kind of over to you. So I think this could be just hilarious because we're just going to let you go for it. And just so people that have just tuned in, I've had the guys on the line for about 10 minutes and there's already a lot of teasing going on. So let's talk about let's talk about this year. I mean, and I don't want to focus on that, but we have to talk about it in a sense, just to preempt. I mean, it's been devastating for the industry, and I know all of you guys for your own businesses, it's been catastrophic. It's just so difficult, and every salon out there in the country is going through the same. Schwarzkopf and Hairdressers Journal felt it was really important to continue with the awards to give the industry something to look forward to and celebrate. When we took that decision, I think we were hoping we'd be able to meet face to face, because I think we all thought in March that by November this would have gone away. But we're going to continue virtually and make it fun. And I know some of you have shot new collections and some have put in collections of the best of the very best. So I'm going to throw it open to you guys, and happy for anyone to take the mantle, but how you kind of approached it and your feeling about us carrying on this year.
I was really
ladies first.
Go on, Sally.
No, I said I was really surprised when the phone call came in to say it was going ahead. I was a bit like, oh my God, what am I meant to do now? Yeah.
I think it's so good you've done it though, because I think it would be so easy just to say it's easier to move it. And it's been such a shocking year that to have something creative to look forward to for everybody involved, like every single person, I think it's incredible. And I think it's a brave move, but one that is definitely going to pay off. So Hairdressers Journal and Schwarzkopf, thank you so much for doing it. It gives us something massive to look forward to. And in such a shocking time, to have something that's so happy, I think is brilliant. So good on you.
Yeah, well, it's like, the awards are such an iconic date in the hairdressing calendar that to miss it this year would have been like, it would have added to what's been a pretty terrible year for everybody. So, so yeah, it's great to look forward to the night and still see each other virtually as well.
The positive to take out of this is the audience that it opens the event up to. You know, I mean, literally, tickets are normally like gold dust, and now, we're able to have all of our friends, family, clients, an international audience, all watching it live as it happens, the same time as we are part of it. So, you've got to take the positives out of every situation, and for me, that is a pretty huge positive. It's going to kind of give the event so much more kudos because of the international platform that it gives it live.
And we don't have to buy anybody a drink either.
Or a ticket.
We made the right decision, Jane, I'm sure. We made the right decision completely.
I have to say, Julian, they are scaring me to death when they're reminding us of just how many people might be watching it. I'm just like,
I know. You can hear me, Jane? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me now. I mean, we've had many conversations about it in the last few months, as we know, but we made the right decision. The global reach will be enormous, and you're right. It's a bit scary now, I think, isn't it? As it's going to
terrifying, the word you're looking for.
You'll look after me. You always do.
I think for us, because we have so many people that normally enter, and the rules that you put in terms of going into your archive, I think that also gave everybody a really bit of motivation, because from sitting at home thinking there's no way I can enter, there's no way I can shoot, I don't have the budget or anything like that, suddenly everyone's on the phones, oh, have you got these files? Have you got those photos? And everyone's putting all of their photos together and saying, oh, can I turn these into black and white? Or can I change the background to this? Or does this set match this set? And I think also just that energy was enough to kind of really lift people up. So I think the way that you also did the rules for this one was absolutely spot on.
I think it's also been a very difficult year for everybody in the whole industry. And I really take my hat on all these organizations, especially to AJ now and Schwarzkopf, in putting this and, you know, put it together and still making it happen. So it's very difficult. And to make decisions about how we're going to do it and what we're going to do, it must be like really a big challenge for you, right?
It's a learning curve, that's for sure.
You know what, though? It's going to be fun, isn't it? And I think that what we all need is fun. So if there are things that go wrong, that's life in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
also, you look at the state of some people at the end of the night. You know, I've been there, hanging off of a bush outside the Grosvenor house, and you know, that's a bit of a mistake. So we're used to mistakes on the night, so it doesn't really matter. I've made many a mistake at the British Hairdressing Awards. You've all been there to see them.
Oh yes, I've always witnessed it.
But I think, guys, this is
judging.
Sorry,
you know, you pulled the judging off. You know, the fact that the judge actually went ahead both first round and second round in what was an amazingly organised fashion. You know, and to just be part of that was fantastic as well.
It was so nice, wasn't it, the judging? It didn't feel like we were in the COVID situation, and seeing everybody, and everybody was so excited, and it was so lovely. And again, I just think to pull that off was a pretty mean feat. So
thank you.
Yeah. I think the fact that this is going global is more exciting to me, because I keep harking on about I'm really annoyed that I can't, you know, do my seminars internationally and educate internationally. So everybody's always been looking at the British Hairdressing Awards. So this is a great platform for everybody. I would have even done a little virtual show.
Yeah. We did think about that, but we felt that maybe one complexity just a little bit too far. And actually, you know, being brutally honest about it, everybody's business has been impacted, and you guys have been impacted as much as every other salon on the high street. And, you know, putting shows together, it creates expense, and it just felt that actually we can do it differently this year in fun ways without putting the pressure on anybody more than that pressure is already on them, because you know, it is a tough time for every business out there, particularly in our sector. And Richard, I'm going to come to you because this is your first nomination, so it's kind of, this isn't how it normally is. Congratulations.
Congrats, Richard.
Thank you very much. That was, I have to say, that was what, I mean, probably my lockdown highlight was a phone call quite late on a Friday, a missed call from Jane. And I looked at my phone and I thought, oh my God, what's Jane phoning for? Maybe I owe her some money, salon international, or something like that. Has Aldo not paid his bill? So I called her back, and yeah, it was quite a stunner. I don't think I was that full of chat, as I remember. I'm still, I sort of felt like I was hit by a truck a little bit.
You were really shocked.
You know, immensely honoured and flattered, you know, to be in this group, and you know, I'm chuffed.
Good.
That's one
Good to have you.
phone call on a Friday afternoon, isn't it? You know, you don't.
It's all right. When I phoned Darren Ambrose to tell him about his first nomination, his receptionist put the phone down on me by mistake. She literally hung up. It was brilliant. She hung up, and I told back.
When you did get through to me, I had Tourette's.
Very bad
swearing Tourette's.
I had terrible Tourette's about the whole thing. And then I think, I'm trying to remember, who was it? Rob, it might have been you that said, no, it was you, Adam, that said, is this a joke?
Yeah, I rang you back and asked if it was a joke. And then I started crying.
Yeah, but it would have been a really horrible, mean joke, wouldn't it? Oh, you've been nominated for British Hairdressing, only joking.
Nothing would surprise me.
I would never do that. I'd never do that.
You should record the conversations, Jane, so you can we can listen back to everybody's reactions.
Actually, that would be hilarious, because the reactions are
I think we'd be pulled off
I was
air.
in real trouble because we normally talk when we see each other or there's a message, and to see a missed call, I was shooting that day.
Yeah, you were.
With Airdem, and I was sat there thinking, well, I haven't drunk in 8 years, so I'm not in trouble for something I've offended somebody with or said or taken my clothes off in front of a massive audience. which was always that had happened many a time, and I was like, God, Jane only actually calls me if I've been really naughty. And I was racking my brain for who I had offended, who I had called something inappropriate. So it was that semi-mix of, oh, I was going to swear then. Are we allowed to swear? No, we're not.
Wow. We're not on the BBC.
I was really shocked, and then I sort of had to sit there taking it in all day. I think I messaged Sally as well just to check if it was true.
I love it.
Is she taking the piss out of me here?
Well, I have to say, when you have like Gary and Michael are obviously nominated together, it's like, okay, who do I ring first? Because they're probably not going to be together. And then you ring one. Gary normally refuses to take the call, which it's true, isn't it, Gary? You're like, oh, I don't want to know. Because I've always said I would phone, you know.
After the second year, I thought, is she ringing to tell us that we're not in again? Or we're not? So, I do ignore the calls for a while. And then I think, but then Michael has been told not to ring me. So it goes on for hours, I keep ignoring the call.
It can. I did get told off because last year on nomination day, it was my son's 18th birthday and we were meant to be out for a family dinner, and I was frantically trying to call you all before I got there so I could actually pretend to be at their birthday dinner rather than on the phone trying to catch up with everybody. So Robert, I'm going to come to you because obviously you are the reigning British Hairdresser of the Year, and what a year. I mean, it's not the year I think probably any of us had planned, but I have to say, when I've spoken to you, you're very kind of say la vie about it.
Yeah, I mean, do you know, I was so honoured to be nominated last year, and then to win was just an amazing experience, and more than I could ever dreamt of. So it was, you know, it's been a fantastic year, and in a weird way, I feel like actually I've connected with more people than I probably thought I would do, because we've all been doing these kind of Zoom calls and live chats and Instagram lives and all the things that we've been doing as an industry to stay connected. Yeah. So in a weird way, it's kind of still been a really busy winning year, really. Even though I've not actually physically been doing much hair for probably 50% of it, but it's still been a fantastic year. Nobody can take it away from me, the sort of the experience of winning as well.
No, they definitely can't. So let's talk about shoots, and it'd be great if you all just talk about this, because some people had shot, some people have shot, and some have done beautiful best of best. So kind of just if you tell the guys, and by the way, there's a lot of love for the recording of the phone calls when I ring you to tell you. People seem to think that would be a really good idea.
Do it on FaceTime, Jane, I think.
Even better. I think they're going to be FaceTime calls next year. We'll just do a screen record. So talk about the shoot. So I don't know who wants to start, but I tell you what, let's go ladies first. No, I'm going to start with Sally. Well, I'm going to start with Sally, and the reason I am is because Sally won't mind me sharing this. Sally is the most relaxed of anyone I've ever dealt with on the British Hairdressing Awards. When she was doing her shoot last year, she phoned me because 2 of the models weren't there, and she was like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll all come together. And this year, we had a hilarious conversation about your models, and I was like, is everything all right? You've got them all sorted. So you start, Sally. Where did that idea come from?
Well, it's something I probably thought about doing a couple of years ago, but didn't feel like the timing was right. And then it's like you said, when the phone call comes in this year, I think everybody sat at home thinking, God, what am I going to do now? I can't go out and do a shoot. So I was just racking my brain, and, you know, I was like, 2020 has been a really difficult year financially and lots of different things. And I just thought, do you know what? I always love these swan neck mannequin heads. And they're £15. They're the cheapest models I've ever used in my life, and actually the most behaved models I've ever used on a shoot. And I just thought I'd do something really beautiful, not by spending too much money, and by thinking out the box. And I just hope everybody likes it. I was a bit nervous about doing it.
I wish we'd probably videoed us unboxing them, because when I started to look at them, I was like, that's what she means about the models being all really well behaved. They were all there on time.
When I sent a before picture with the pictures. I was trying to see Jane's face when she opened it, and I'd love to have seen your reaction, because it's like my before picture was just a bald £15 mannequin head, and Jane must have had an absolute heart attack.
I did. I've got to be honest. I opened them and I was just really confused. I was just like, I don't understand this. What's she doing? What's she doing? No, they're beautiful. So Errol, onto your collection, because you've done a best of the best, haven't you?
Yes. Well, I think I've said this to you quite a few times with British Hairdressing Awards. even though you go in to do these awards, you're still going in to create an amazing collection. So whatever happens to my collections, the collections almost overtake what you're doing. They're iconic anyway. And I've literally shot, I'm always shooting. And obviously there's some things which I don't put in. So to choose my pictures for these awards, I think was even more challenging to shoot something new. That's all. Because I have a style and I don't have a style. And I always shoot with a couple of photographers. And lo and behold, you know, most of it was one photographer. But you do step away, and I think it's like maturity as in a hairdresser and you as a character. I've matured over the years with my work. So it's interesting to see your work at different stages in your life. So yeah, that was a huge challenge, but it was amazing because you made me do something different. And if I said to my business partner, I'm going to go out and do a collection of pictures, she would have just walked away forever. Because you can't justify it, you know, and that's one question. And don't start me off on rents.
Yeah, no, let's not start on that conversation. Yeah. We're not talking rent.
I was really blown away by just stepping back and looking at what you do. And I think, you know, and when I say this, because I'm always going on about it, this is an incredible bunch of people to be, you know, I admire everybody. I love everybody. This is such a good, you know, this is the best of the best. So to see your work up with everybody else, again, I'm thinking, oh my God, I never saw those pictures. I never, you know, there's work I've never seen from everybody. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, I'm thinking, oh my God, you know, it was a challenge, a super challenge, and I'm more enthralled about this because it will be going on the 30th. So I'm going to hide everybody. There's going to be a lot of people here, but you won't see them.
Oh, that's more scary. Darren, what about you? Because you shot this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with what Sally was saying. You know, like when you look into it, you could have shot, but a lot of the photographers weren't shooting, and under the current situation, it was really tough. So, and I think for those people that did shoot in British, it was amazing. But looking back on archives, it was just looking back on stuff that when you go in to do a shoot, obviously time's money, and you kind of produce as much as you can while you're doing it. So going back to some of those old shoots, there was stuff that I'd never presented, which was quite interesting. You think, oh my God, I haven't forgotten that. I didn't even know we'd done that, and blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of taken from something this year. We listened to so much music, and in the house, it's a wonder we're not deaf, because the music is so loud and we're all just dancing around and doing kind of crazy things, that the speaker vibes was the frequency in the picture. That's where I got this inspiration, because it was booming out. So it was more like called resound, which was like a frequency vibration. So when we looked into the picture, it kind of means like the girl's like droplet in water, or frequency. So she's bouncing out. And then just kind of did it like that, really. So it just had an elongation to the picture and something a bit different. But yeah, it was great. It was good fun to do with Jenny.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. Gary and Michael, and actually Tracy Devine-Smith said, how do you choose when you have such an amazing back catalogue? And I know I can remember you guys talking to me in lockdown saying, oh, we just can't decide.
A fight, basically.
And you did fight. I wasn't going to say that. I'm going to let you share the fact that you actually were fighting over it. I wasn't going to share.
Because we did actually
agree, actually.
We did agree. Well, before we decided to enter a best of British collection, because ultimately that's what we ended up doing, we did consider shooting, because, you know, in recent years, I've started shooting all of our collections myself, and I have a studio at home, and it would have been quite easy to get a couple of models. So
it wouldn't, because it was against the law.
That's true, actually. So no, wouldn't it be? Well, what about the other people?
Did afterwards? No, you could shoot. You could shoot.
Yeah, could.
In your own house.
Ignore him. It's a studio.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
You can shoot. You can shoot.
So anyway, we did consider doing it, and then a little bit like what Errol said, we kind of took the opportunity to present a best of British. There's some pictures which we consider ourselves to be iconic pictures of ours, so like our favorite pictures. And I thought, what a lovely opportunity to kind of get them out there again and let people see them, but present them in a different way, not in a way that we doctored the pictures too much, but just putting certain pictures with pictures from other collections kind of still created this cohesive collection. But everything took on a whole different feel because it was sat next to something different. So it was a collection of 6 previously seen favorite images and 2 new pieces of work. And we kind of done it so we had, everything was black and white. So there's 2 on a light gray, 2 on a dark gray, 2 on a light, 2 on a dark gray. So this sort of checkerboard effect. And we just like the simplicity and the beauty of it, how it all sat together. And
I think because we have a certain style, all the pictures will work together.
They did.
So, you know, it was a nice blend. And when we actually got them out, and we have this thing every year, we put them in the lounge. Michael puts them all on the sofa and displays them all. And I go in, I go, nah, don't like that one. Then I come out, go back and watch Coronation Street. Then he rearranges them again. I go back and I go, nah, go back in. And then, but we did that, and I walked in, I went, wow, that looks amazing. Because I was always scared about using old work. But yeah, we were very, very happy at the end of it. And, you know, it was relevant for the time that we were in financially and with what was going on in the world. So
brilliant. Richard, obviously this is your first nomination. For you, that's a completely different, because we not only was it your first nomination, we also changed all the rules.
Your life will never be the same.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. I mean, it was almost like a sort of it was a bit of a sort of a touch, really, because my initial thought was, oh my God, you know, what am I going to do? I've got to shoot, and I've got, you know, how am I going to do that? And you know, you want to represent yourself as to the best of your ability, don't you? And you know, within, you know, I'm just staring at the screen that I'm looking at now with all these faces on there. Who, you know, you're all BHA legends in your own right, aren't you? You know, and I'm definitely the new boy. So just trying to represent yourself in the best way possible. So it was actually, it was quite a relief that I could kind of rely on stuff I'd done before. But then I had the challenge of going back and going, actually, what do I like? What, you know, what represents me in the best way possible? And you know, that was quite a journey, just trawling through everything and seeing what worked, seeing what I liked, you know, and I show my wife and she'd go, why'd you pick that one?
Yeah, no, it's true. Adam, yours is quite different this year to your first shoot for British, which was last year, because you were saying you really changed your kind of way of thinking.
Yeah, I had to, because I don't have access to my previous collections, so I couldn't go back in and use them. So I had to shoot. And do you know what I wanted to do? I shot with Alex Barron-Ho this year, and Lan came to do the makeup, but she wasn't allowed to do the makeup. So the models had to do the makeup themselves under Lan's direction. I've also got it placed into some consumer magazines for next year, because ultimately having to spend the money, I didn't spend a load of money because I didn't have it, but it was a real nice collaboration. We used our sort of archived wardrobe. So I've always kept the clothes that I've used. We street cast, which again, I love doing. I sort of brought my session side of stuff in and made it a little bit more, gave it some longevity. But it was funny because I had to do it. I didn't really have a choice other than taking some pictures on my iPhone, which I didn't think would work because I want to be able to use them again. But I still looked back over my sort of archived collections from years. I unfortunately have been all over the shop, so I wasn't allowed to use them. But it was really good fun, and like not Lan guiding the models to do their own makeup and styling it ourselves. And we had a really great guy who just came along to dress the models on the day. And honestly, we shot about a week after, so I planned it thinking we would end on the 4th of July, and we shot the week after, and the atmosphere was incredible. And again, do you know what? There's something about, I didn't have a great lockdown, as many people know. And to come back in and to sort of come back in with the gusto of a shoot, for me, was really important. And as I said, I spoke to quite a few of my friends to see if we could get the collection placed after. because again, I think it's so important to show the importance of these awards this year more than ever. So what I tried to do was look at how what I was spending on the shoot would stretch, number one, but also bringing in a new team. Alex Lan has worked with me before, but not on a shoot. And I love that Lan always gets what I want. As I said, we brought a friend of ours who's a stylist in. Ryan, it was the first year that he shot with me as my first assistant. We had the team come along and we sort of made it a really great, exciting day just after lockdown.
That's great.
And it was just lovely to do. And we got 27 pictures out of the day in the end.
Wow.
And again, I just needed to know that I was going to get my money's worth, but also the fact that we were allowed to use wigs this year. And Jane, you know my thing of, I use wigs continuously. I love the fact that we could use wigs, and our aim was to get a huge amount of imagery out of it. So actually we had longevity in the collection, and it was so exciting.
No, it's brilliant. And Angelo, did you shoot in the UK? Because I know you were in Italy because obviously with family commitments over there.
No. Basically, I shot in Iceland. I'm a big lover of that place, and I've been doing different events and going there different times. And this collection is called Nocturnal, which I was going to keep it for the awards, but then when I saw everything else, I used it before. Normally, I would never release my pictures before, but this year, because of the fact that we are allowed to use old pictures, you know, the collection went kind of out, if you know what I mean. And we used it for different things. And yeah, I think I was probably very lucky on that one. It's been also a very tough year for myself, like lots of things happening, you know, including like getting coronavirus and losing my dad. It's been a very difficult year. Opening a salon and closing it after a week, you know, it's a really strange year, I have to say. But at the end, you know, I was lucky because I did I shot two collections. I shot the Moonlight collection and the Nocturnal. So I always wanted to shoot in the night time, you know, but in that kind of surrealist kind of light, you know.
Yeah.
And and we shot loads of pictures. We had like at least 20 different looks. So I've used the 8 looks that we had, which was unseen from that. So
no, it's great.
Yeah.
Because I'm good. Sorry, Angelo, go on.
It's probably one of the most expensive shoot I've ever done in my life, because you can imagine to go and shoot in Iceland.
Yeah.
And, but for me, you know, doing the awards and it's a big responsibility. Number one. Number two, I've always thought that we stood for, like, you know, best kind of, let's say, leading award in the world. And now every country has an award, every company has an award. But I still feel like, you know, I mean, I'm so lucky to be part of this amazing group. I mean, every single person on this page is super talented and so inspiring. So I'm really, you know, happy.
No, it's brilliant. Thank you. Cos, I'm going to come to you because you nearly gave me heart failure on the day with your photographs. Just because, let's just say Cos was cutting it fine to the deadline. But talk us through your collection, Cos.
Well, I did come 3 minutes before 5 o'clock.
Literally.
So we were lucky enough to do a campaign for Tony and Guy, like a mini one, because we thought that we had to do something for the business to kind of keep all of our staff motivated. So when we came out of lockdown, you know, we arranged this shoot, and, you know, for studio and for film work, the regulations are you can be together.
Yeah.
So I think that was great for the industry, and we kind of, like, you know, went with that as long as you were, you know, social distance, etc. We used Lan as well, you know, for the makeup, and, you know, again, it's just the makeup was just being directed by her. And like you said, Adam, as well, you know, the fact that we could use some wigs was great, because I just really only just shot 2 new ones. And that was that profile big red set.
Yeah.
And it shows the wig cap and the other gel top with the little floaty bits. And then the rest of them were other selects from the last year's shoots that I haven't used before. So, you know, going through, it was also created a really nice buzz and energy going through some looks that I thought, oh, actually, maybe, you know, they'd look quite nice. So that's kind of how it came together. And I've called it Reverie, and we've turned it into a bit of a course. And Reverie means to kind of immerse yourself in a daydream of creative freedom. And then from that also, I want to kind of put together a course where you can share with people how to put a shoot or a show together, like that creative process. You know, you always get those questions, you know, from HJ and, you know, other press, you know, how do you put the shoot together? But to actually do one now that we can connect on Zoom as well, and be able to share that with, you know, everybody else in the industry, I think it's a really nice thing to be able to share and to give.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely.
But you know, it was really tough though, trying to put it all together. But I think also, you know, it was just the best thing. We said it earlier. It just gave us so much motivation and like the want to be part of it all. You know, and like Angelo said, to sit here with you guys is just, you know, an absolute honour. It's bloody amazing.
No, it's brilliant. Rob, I'm coming to you last as current hairdresser of the year. So a difficult decision because you're defending your title.
Yeah. So I mean, I suppose obviously I was really excited when we got nominated again, but then this sort of reality sort of hit of how would we do this? How would we fund it? And I sort of really thought about what I'd want to get from the collection. I felt a big responsibility to try to create something new, particularly with it only being my second nomination as well. And although we've got
no booing anybody else, they booed when you said that last time because you won on your first nomination.
It was Michael that booed the loudest, actually.
It just being
They're
nice.
allowed because we're from the north.
Yeah. But the main thing for me with any collection I always create is I've always got our salons at heart and been able to reuse the images again to drive clients to the salon and also to sort of promote our business as well. So I guess I'm always very inspired by beautiful images that really hopefully represent what clients want as well. So this year more than ever, actually, I've got so many wigs and different things we've used for various shows and events that I thought, well, I can use some of these again now and I could try to reinvent them in a new way for a collection that represents what this is about. So it was really stripping everything back and keeping the budget quite tight, but at the same time trying to make the most out of the day, really.
I think, and when you see that, and you were all at the judging, when you saw that wall of British, I mean, it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up because the images were just like, wow, they were all so beautiful.
As naff as it sounds as well, every single person that was up in that room is a winner.
Absolutely.
And I think this year more than ever, you know, it was my first year last year and I was absolutely on it because it is recognition and there's something lovely about that. But because this year is so different, to see not just the creativity, but just what goes into putting a collection together, to putting the event together, it just gave you that spark that I think everybody needs. And I've been looking at collections on social media, and that's what's so lovely about social media. I read a thing last night to say that if the lockdown happened 20 years ago, we'd all be looking on our Nokias playing Snake. What we can do now is we can look at what people are doing. And do you know what? It's so important. The cancellation of 2020, I think, has been really, really hard because we're creative, because Errol was saying earlier, we travel, we create hair and shoots and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. That literally has been taken away from us. And that is our lifeblood. That's what runs through our veins. So to have it and to see it was just so bloody inspiring. And I think as an industry, we've been hit really hard. We're not here to talk about that shit, but we have been hit hard. So to have this positivity is so important. And so affirming of what an incredible industry the British hairdressing industry is. I think it's lovely. And to be a part of it is nice as well, isn't it?
And I think actually part of our thinking too was that during the first lockdown and now again, hairdressing's really been elevated to kind of this status because there wasn't a national news channel or a paper or a magazine that wasn't covering the fact that we need salons open, because yes, you make everybody look better, but that's only part of it. It's about how you make people feel and that well-being piece. There's loads of love for you guys. Joanne O'Neill, thank you all for sharing. Lara Johnson, good morning from sunny Swansea. What an absolute bunch of beauties. I have to agree with her. So thank you all the very best of luck for next week.
10 o'clock.
Tracy Devine, she said she loves that all the nominees have such a different take on it and are so artistic in their own way. And then there's lots of love coming in. You've got Bahrain, Greece, Poland, Anchorage, Alaska. So
seminars next year.
Whole weekend.
Our booking is open as well if anybody wants to email us.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also,
I'm doing courses with Gary and Michael.
What's interesting with all this, I've had so many people DM me about careers in hairdressing.
Yeah, it's positive.
I'm talking about older, younger, a lot of older people, but not obviously, that old. But it is quite interesting how the focus is on the hair and beauty industry. But I think even more so, if people are not afraid to start a conversation with you, I think it's even better.
No, it's true. Well, on that point, just had Lisa Charles, hi from the hairdressing department at Nescott College, which is in Epsom in Surrey. So they're watching you guys. So it's great that you're inspiring that kind of new generation too. I think it's really important. We've massively run over on time, but I'm going to come to you all for a very quick answer. Where are you going to be watching the awards and are you dressing up? So I'm going to go around the screen as it appears with me. Adam, I'm coming to you first.
I'm going to be watching it from my living room with my family, dressed as Father Christmas, because I'm not going to have had my hair cut, and I don't.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Darren.
I'm going to be dressed in. I'm going to be dressed in the lounge. Thank God.
That's good to know.
I hope so. In a onesie.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, right. You do need to remember, guys, that we are going to come to you all live on the night, not just the person that wins. I'm just giving you a heads up. Rob.
Yeah, I'll be at home, but I'm deciding whether to wear full suit or get dressed up or just the top half. It doesn't matter about the rest.
I will shame you if you've got pajamas on because I will make you pan the camera down. I'm just putting it out there. Gary and Michael.
Everybody's getting as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got to get dressed up and I've got to wash my hair, so I'm gonna have to have a shower.
We're definitely doing the whole black tie.
She's got a lovely new dress.
Obviously,
love it.
It will just
be in full drag.
It will
I can't wait for that.
What about you, Richard?
I'll be at home and probably in my kitchen with the kids, the dogs, my wife.
Brilliant.
And I don't know what I'm wearing yet. But
Richard, you might want to reorder that. You said in the kitchen with the kids, the dog, and the wife. I would go wife, kids, and then the dog. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. But
dogs come first. Yeah.
Brilliant. Sally, what about you? The dogs are going to come first. I know it. Oh, Sally's frozen.
Oh.
Right, while we get Sally back. Cos, I'm going to come to you.
Definitely dressing up. And it's going to be pizza for dinner and wine and Prosecco and beer.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Errol?
Right. This is going to be a shocker, but it's easy. I've got over 24 outfits. I'm going to do a Beyonce. I'm dressing up in black tie. I'm going to have a different outfit on every minute.
Brilliant. Oh, you need to can you keep posting it and hashtag BHA20 and then tag us in. Sally, coming back to you. So come on.
I'm going to be at home with like everybody else with my dogs and my boyfriend. I've ordered a brand new pair of pajamas and I've ordered a new top. Don't know which one yet.
I'm putting money on you wearing pajamas because I just know you will. Angelo.
I'm just going to be home, but I haven't planned anything yet. I'm really bad like that sometimes.
You will. Now, Julian, you are going to be with me, so we will be together, socially distanced. So we're actually built. I'm not going to give anything away, but we are in the same building, but we're not in the same location, so that we can keep numbers to a minimum. But it will look seamless and look like we're together. So
looking forward to it, Jane. Can I bring the dogs as well? I mean, we're not talking
definitely.
about dogs, but
no, bring the dogs.
Very interesting.
Bring the dogs. I think the more mayhem on the night, the better. I think it's it's going to be good.
It's going to be a great night. Really can't wait.
No, I can't wait. So we are 1 week to go. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning. I know on behalf of Julian and myself, it's been an absolute joy. There's an awful lot of love for you on the chat. Everybody's wishing you the very best of luck. I will see you all next Monday at some point, because we will be coming to all the nominees on Monday night in the evening. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Again, a huge thank you, Julian, to you and to Schwarzkopf Professional. You guys have been our partner for 36 years. I haven't done all 36, although today it's feeling like it. But we will get through it. So thank you, guys, and good luck to all of the finalists, actually, to everybody in every category. I think it's important to say that every category have really done something worth celebrating this year. So thanks, guys, to all of you, and sending you all lots of love. Thank you.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
See you on Monday next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.